Yo, this is Jay Brooks, and right now you're listening to the Lengthy Lads podcast, featuring Annoying Mouse, the average EAFC player, Bertie, aka the Gaffer, and Azza Gaming. So sit back, make a cup, and enjoy this episode of the Lengthy Lads. Bosh!
Yes, let's get lovey-dovey. Welcome back to another episode of the Lengthy Lads podcast, the place to be for all of your news and opinions about FC 24, hosted by myself, the average FC player, the beautiful Annoying Mouse, the gorgeous Bertie, and Azza, the sexiest Welshman to ever live. It is a special Valentine's Day edition of the podcast today, and we are going to play Cupid and get loved up with EA Sports. I never ever thought I'd actually say that sentence. I want to retract it straight away. Boys, happy Valentine's Day to you lovely lot. I was supposed to be here to spread the love and play Cupid tonight. But before we do that, we kind of need to take it back down to earth and talk about this weekend's Champs experiences alongside the absolutely horrendous, and I mean horrendous, 4U packs that have come out, incorrect nations on players, and other mistakes that EA Sports have made over the last couple of days. But let's go back to Champs. I didn't play because I turned a large 29 years old this weekend. So I was pretty busy with family and stuff like that. Shout out to my missus for making me the best birthday cake I think I've ever had in my life. It was covered in EA Sports. No, I'm joking. It was just a Vicky sponge with jam and cream, but it was absolutely fucking gorgeous. So shout out her. So instead of talking Champs, I'm going to open an 84x20 from my season's rewards and see what I get. It is a Future Stars.
This is outrageous, by the way, that you're opening this.
Well, I don't care. I've got a little Ruben Diaz. Oh, I'll give you a guess of the Future Stars that's just come up.
Abby Elliott.
No.
She's
in every fucking pack.
Oh, it's Germa. Is it Germa?
It's Germa. Of course it's Germa. Yep, and it's probably the worst 84x20 you'll ever get. I've got 189, 186, 286s, and the rest are 85s and 84s. Anyway, let's go over to Azza. How was Champs for you, sir?
Champs is pretty straightforward for me, mate. I went 6-1 on the Sunday, and obviously left my remaining games to yesterday, Monday. But I was pretty busy in and out of the hospital on Monday, so I rushed them last night. Got 13 wins, I think. Yeah, 13 wins. Should have been 14, actually. I got to 11 and was like, right, I'm not in the mood. I'll give them away. And I gave away, I don't know if I gave away 1 or 2. And then I seen in the objectives, I actually needed one more win for the 83 times 20. So I just carried on playing then and ended up with 13 wins. And I managed to get a future star in the picks, which isn't too bad. I did get the Spanish centre mid for Atletico Madrid, who I've heard good things about, to be fair. He looks decent. So I think I'll stick him in the team because he got the same Atletico Madrid kit as I have. And we both look super sexy when we're wearing it. So yeah, pretty decent Champs. All right picks. Not much profit from the tradable packs, but it is what it is.
Yeah, Barrios is decent. I was using him a little bit today in a couple of rivals games. I'm quite happy with him. He's decent. So hopefully he'll give you a nice link to Fernando Torres as well, which is utterly perfect. Shane, what was your weekend league experience like?
Mine was rough, mate. I started my challenge of trying every formation this weekend with my Liverpool past and present, starting with a 3-1-4-2. And I scraped 11 wins with my last game. I've had a lot of trouble with my internet for 2 weeks now, and I finally, thanks to Jay on Twitter, fixed it. So that made it even more of a struggle. But I got my 11 wins. I enjoyed using my Liverpool players. It was a graft because of the internet, and I just found that formation, not having anything set up and stuff. I found when I was defending, it was like I had one defender. The centre-backs weren't tucking in or anything. So yeah, it was a struggle, but we got there.
Yeah, strange to hear you talk about only scraping 11 wins when usually you go like 11-1, 11-2. So
shout out to Jota as well, because that card was immense.
It's a great card.
I ain't got him. Mouse, how was your Champions League? I was going to say Foot Champs experience.
Yeah, it was all right. I started quite late this week. I actually started on Sunday. I'm normally done by then easily, but I was doing the Evos. So yeah, it was all right. I got what I finished 13-7. I was 13-6, and I went into my last game. You boys already know this. I already went through it, but I was playing this guy. I went 3-1 down, and he wasn't better than me. I was just playing like a twat. And then he decided to start passing it around the back from the 50th minute. So I was well happy with that. Then literally changed some tactics in game, managed to find this miracle press, and got back to 3-3 in the 90th minute and quit. for no other reason than to not let him have the win, even though I blew 14. I couldn't care less because I'd rather know that he didn't get the win for that game, and hopefully he then lost his next game. And it, like I said, doesn't really matter to me. But yeah, I was more happy. I didn't use Messi, didn't use Mbappe, and still got similar results. So, you know, I use that Mallard, who's miles better than that Athena as well. Yeah, really fun card. I use that Pina as well. She's a really fun card. So I'm just going to keep adding in new promo cards to my team each week, I think. And we discussed this already, Ryan, that I might as well run a full Future Stars team next week for champs.
I think I'm going to do that.
Just to see how it goes, because I've packed, I think, 9 or 10 now. So if I do a couple of Evos, then yeah, we'll be there. But yeah, no, it was a good experience. I didn't have any issues, and yeah, it was good fun.
Positivity from Mouse. All right, boys. I think we need to address it now. 4U packs. I know we were going to go for positivity, but I can't see any positivity coming out of this whatsoever. It's a huge fuck you to EA to us from EA, in fact. You know, if I'm quite honest, could they have just thrown at us for free for playing the game for such a long time? Yes, they could. But what are your opinions? Shane?
I'd like someone else to go first.
Yeah, I don't mind going first. I mean, I'm probably the most positive one out of all of us, and you know, even for me, it's a massive kick in the teeth. Obviously, we used to get an ultimate pack if you played over 30 days, wherever it was throughout the period, or whatever it was, over 100 days or something stupid, and then it was tiered down. But you know, I've already seen rumours that people have said that they've started new accounts and they've got access to these packs as well. So that's kind of a massive kick in the teeth, because it could even be that they've loaded them into the menu for everyone. To then send out a tweet and word it that, you know, you've been rewarded. You've been rewarded with the chart. We should have seen the warning when it first came out, when it went into the Foot scoreboard. We should have seen the warning then when it said you've been rewarded for, and you know, to open this pack. Like, you just can't. You know, you get the chance to open this pack. That's not how it should be. It's, you know, all right, just give us an ultimate pack and don't worry about it. Then put them in and put them at a higher discount or some. It had to be something, but that pack's no different to what we've had in the lightning rounds or anything like that. It's just no different. So, yeah, it is. I can understand totally why people are frustrated, but then I'm also on the other side that, yeah, it's just another thing that's happened in the game that doesn't affect how I specifically play the game, because I don't, you know, like I said, I don't chase the cards and whatever else that, so it doesn't affect me as much because I'm not as invested in that side of the game, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's a shitty move. I can't sit there and spin something decent on it, because there's nothing decent to say about it. It's a shitty move and it shouldn't happen. The
only decent thing I can say is 10 and 30 coin packs. That's it. You know,
I got a Future Stars out of it.
There we go. So they're helping me to restock my club with 10 and 30 coin packs. But that is it. Should we go to you and then we'll let Shane finish off?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
To be honest, when I hear the words "for you," my "for you" pages are usually full of booty shaking videos. So it was a bit of a surprise to see it associated with FIFA packs. But I think for me, unless I'm opening a player pick or doing a preview pack, or of course just opening my packs that I've got rewarded, I'm never in the store, so it hasn't really noticed me. Where they've messed up is the wording of it. If they didn't word it as for you or reward, I wouldn't have even known that they were there. And I mean, most people wouldn't have even known they were there. They would have just been another store pack that no one really gives a shit about.
And it was the fact
Unless
that they
you're completely
tweeted it
hooked.
out. They tweeted it out as well.
Yeah.
It's mental.
So it's like they really thought to themselves, what shouldn't we do to piss people off? And then just did it all anyway. It's like they just ticked every box of untickable boxes. It is ridiculous. They could have just released them as normal store packs. No one would have known. No one would have batted an eyelid. I certainly wouldn't have known they were there. And yeah, they're idiots. It's stupid. It's not a for you thing. It's not a reward. I didn't even know there was 10 coin and 30 coin packs though. So I am going to open them probably now during this podcast. So thank you for that, Ryan.
Love that.
But yeah, it just hasn't really impacted me because I don't go in there and I wasn't expecting anything free from them. So business as usual.
Yeah. If I'm honest, I'm just a little bit baffled by EA's ineptitude, if is that the right word? They're just a little bit inept. I feel like what they've done is they've left all the interns in charge for this year, whilst all the big wigs have gone off and had a little bit of a break and a holiday. And they've just gone, do you know what? Do what you like. Chuck some stuff out. Why not? Azza's just fist pumped. So what does that mean?
Cheeky little 89 and a 80 plus pick.
Oh, love that. That's boring. So
not when you only get 4 walkouts out of 50. That's exciting for me.
So yeah, I just feel like they left all the interns in charge that have absolutely no idea how to run the company, and they've gone, go on, do what you like. See how far you can push it until we get people quitting the game and stuff like that, and not playing it as much. So I don't know. Shane, what about you? I know you're not happy about it, but is there anything else you want to add?
I just think they are vile. I really despise the company. I think they're clever because some people, and they know it, probably a lot of people will look at that and think that they've got a good deal with that pack.
Yeah.
Like they'll look at it and think, "Oh, I'll put some points on because that's a good deal. That is for that pack." People will think that, and it, like Mouse said, it's not any different to any of the store packs we've been constantly getting. Like it's not good value or anything like that, and I cannot believe that this game is not an 18 game with the gambling that's in it because it's just wrong. I just think it's so wrong, and this has kind of tipped it over the edge for me personally.
Yeah, the gambling side of it is definitely something that needs to be addressed.
Like I've been speaking to a guy on Twitter, and he's been playing FIFA recently with his young son. Like his son's just started playing it, and he's already like asking about what pack, if he can open packs in the store and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because they're not clued up by it. They don't understand like how much it costs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I echo that, to be fair, because my boy, my eldest doesn't live with me, and he comes around every now and then. Obviously, knows I stream, do the podcast, everything like that, but doesn't really play FIFA, doesn't know much about it. But one of the first things is he comes and asks me, he's like, "Oh, have you packed anything decent?" Because obviously that's what gets passed around the schoolyard. You know, he's 14, and that's what they talk about, obviously at school and stuff. So, but I think the issue with the gambling is yes, it is a gamble, but it's not a gamble in the sense of you win or lose, because you always are going to win, regardless. Yes, you're not going to win big, but you're always going to get a return from the pack. It's not like you open a pack and there's no card. That'd be fucking hilarious, but. You're always going to get a return. So I don't know where. Obviously, I don't know much about the gambling laws. I don't know where that. I don't know if anyone knows, but where does it fall within the gambling sort of hierarchy, if you like? Because it's almost like a guaranteed raffle, but you could win the shittest prize or you could win the best prize. But so this is what I mean. This is why I think there's such a struggle with how it's done on like the Peggy scale and stuff, because where does it sit inside the gambling ladder, if you like?
Well, I don't know. If you take like Red Dead Redemption, for
They're not classed
example.
as loot boxes, something like that.
Yeah, they're like loot
Yeah.
crates.
In Belgium, aren't they?
But if
They
you
are,
take,
yeah.
if you take, for example, like Red Dead, on Red Dead, yes, it's an 18 because of all the violence and the shooting and stuff. But part of it is gambling because you can play poker on there.
Right. Okay.
But you're not gambling your own real money playing
No.
poker on Red Dead Redemption. You're just in the gambling aspect of the game.
It's really good, that poker as well on Red Dead.
It's really fucking good, and I don't know how to play poker, but I'll play it either way. 3-0 leads.
It's just interesting. That's what I mean. I don't know where. That's, I think, is why it's so hard for them to probably get a handle and to get a ban on it, for the government side of it, because where it's very hard to police, because there isn't a win or bust mentality with it. You're always going to get a return from a pack, regardless of what you open, aren't you? But again, I've always thought it should be, it shouldn't be accessible to young kids. You do hear these stories of, oh my God, my kid opened up fucking X amount of shit, spent loads on my credit card and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not regulated properly, and we know that. But yeah, it's just a point I wanted to throw in the mix.
I don't know how they regulate it.
People are just very ignorant as well. Like they don't. If you've not been there or you don't experience stuff like it, then you don't really understand, because people just seem to think, oh, well, don't spend your money on it then. But like that SAF cow posted earlier about a gambling thing, the amount of DMs he's had saying like people that they've got issues with spending money and stuff like that on the game. Like he said, I could have 10 pages of this.
Yeah.
But I think people are just ignorant to it because it don't affect them. They just think it's easy. I'll just don't buy it then. But it's not the case.
It's the fact that they've targeted the worst part of their game and thought, oh yeah, that's what will enhance. They've not enhanced things that make the game enjoyable. Better servers, no delay, anything like that. They've targeted the people that are hooked on buying store packs. I've been there. They've targeted the worst and darkest side of their game and made a big song and dance about it as well. Not like they've done it discreetly. They've just come out and been like, oh yeah, look at this, for you, my favorite little gamblers. It's like, what on earth? It's like the bookie owner coming out and, giving you customized little specials and stuff, knowing that you're going to bet on it, even though you're not even seeing any benefit whatsoever. It's scandalous. It's really vile.
Me and my miss have been rewatching Grey's Anatomy, and there's a storyline within Grey's Anatomy where one of the doctors, spoiler alert, is an alcoholic, and he goes to a bar and finds out that you might not know, but in Alcoholics Anonymous, you get given this little chip, and it's like however much you get sober, and he goes to this bar, and the barman trades chips for shots. And you're just like, I feel like that's so fucking EA Sports, isn't it? So you've got an 8 years sober chip. Here's 8 shots of vodka as a well done. Like that's how I like. How fucking sad am I that that's the way that I look at.
So instead of FC points, we could have like a liver.
We could have a
trade your liver for an 89.
Trade you good liver.
89 times 10.
Yeah.
What fucking 29-year-old watches Grey's Anatomy?
It's fucking sick, by the way.
Yeah, I love it as well, mate.
It's so good.
I'm about 10. Cheeky. I'm about 10 seasons in, I think.
Yeah, we're on.
I've just finished. To be fair, I've just rewatched and finished The Office. So,
isn't it the longest season series ever? Sorry.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Wow, too right, because it's absolutely class. But yes, EA Sports, if you're listening, stop being scummy little bastards and actually give us something for our money, because right now you're ripping us of every spare penny that we've ever had, unless, like me, you don't buy FIFA points. But anyone that is completely addicted to your game, like me, you're trying to get as much money out of us as possible. Maybe just reward the community a little bit more, please.
Do you know what's a really good video to watch as well? Something I watched weeks and weeks ago. It's someone on Joe Rogan exposing the secrets of gambling casinos and stuff, and the tactics that they use. And you watch that on about casinos, and you look at how every single point those casinos use, every single trick they use, is actually implemented in FIFA in one way or another, in one shape or form. That tells you everything you need to fucking know, really. I only just thought about that at the end, so yeah, it's fucking terrible.
We'll have to find that and post it on the Twitter. So this
Yeah,
is what
it's a good video as well.
Good shout.
Gentlemen, ladies, everyone that's listening, as I said previously, we're going for as much positivity as possible in today's podcast. We're being very, very safey today. I'm going to start with the Future Stars promo. I think I have packed 8, actually, no, after that, probably 9 Future Stars cards. I absolutely love the promo. It's a great idea. The cards, yes, they're maybe a little bit too common. I don't know if they've got the pack weight right again, but they're incredibly common. But I'm pretty happy with it in all. I like the promo, some decent cards. I like the evolutions things that they're doing when you've got the attacker and defenders, and I'm hoping there's a midfielder one that's going to be coming. That's a class edition. But what do you boys think about the promo? Are you enjoying it? Let's go for Shane first.
I loved the promo 2 minutes in when I packed Harvey Elliott. That was always a bonus because he was the one really that I wanted. No sign of Stevie G yet. I brought him just hoping for dupe theory, really. I've lost coins already, as expected, but I won't get rid of him, so it doesn't really bother me. I like Future Stars. It always gives you different cards that you don't really see get a promo card. Some will say that they're not good, which probably a couple aren't, but the chance of these getting an Evo is highly likely.
Yeah.
People forget that because of the stats that the cards have and stuff like that. I think some of the prices are outrageous. Why Garnacho is 3-4 million is beyond me. But yeah, I like it. I like Future Stars. Like I say, it's different players. And no, they're not meta probably, but they're usable. There's plenty of usable cards there. I don't think you could doubt that. Why are you laughing?
I just never heard it pronounced meter before.
What are you laughing for?
I don't even know if that's a fucking... I'm just trying to copy what people say. Is it meta?
I've always said meta, yeah, but who knows? I could be wrong.
Yeah, but you say potato, I'll say potato.
Yeah.
Mate, he's in fucking cars, isn't he?
Do you know what? I think it's a very visually pleasing promo. I'm liking the purple and red kind of aesthetics. That is very rich coming from you. Yeah, the choice of players, I mean, they're future stars at the end of the day. They're never going to be like super meta to begin with, and obviously this gives them the chance to be meta or meta, depending who you are. It being split into 2 teams, I'm not sure about that. I don't think it was last year split into 2. I can't remember, but
yeah,
I've always seen Future Stars as like a mini team of the year, like thinking back to like the old Bellinghams that we used to have and stuff. So I was hoping for more kind of really juiced ones, but just 11 rather than like 2 teams with like 1 or 2 juiced ones here or there. But even the ones that are supposed to be juiced, I don't think Garnacho looks very good, you know, face wise, and Malad looks probably better than him or equally as good, and she's free. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one in that sense. The SBCs have been all right from the looks of things. I've been too caught up with Eusebio to get too involved in them, but they do look nice. But yeah, I give her a solid 7.5 out of 10, I'd say.
Mine's bumped up because we've got player picks, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah, that always helps. That bumps up a promo, even though it's nothing to do with the promo, really.
Yeah, 100%. Mouse?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I've packed... No, yeah, it is 9 that I've packed so far.
Wow.
So, and I've done 2 Evos, done Mallard and Athena. And then I've also done Richardson this morning. Unfortunately, didn't do it yesterday, but did it today. And then the Pina one as well, who I have referred to as Penis quite a few times. But yeah, they're like Shane said. I think it's good that you get a lot of cards that don't generally get a card within the game, not a decent special card. They are fun to use. I think my only concern with a lot of them so far is some of them feel really underpowered. Obviously, I've done quite a few, even like playing some squad battles games and stuff like that, like the likes of Harvey Elliott and whatever his name is, Gula. they do feel very underpowered. I don't know
RV Elliott is very weak.
Yeah, I don't know why they've. I know
Yeah,
I
I
get
agree.
them. They're not. They are smaller types of players,
Yeah,
but
he is a little
Yeah.
maggot.
yeah,
I think it's where they come from, see, because they come from such lower rated cards. They kind of always carry that with them.
yeah, they just but then Mallard has got 84 strength,
Bloody
so
hell.
I think it's. I think it's something that's been overlooked because a lot of these cards are that way. I haven't tried a lot of the male ones, which potentially are obviously higher, but it's a couple of good cards like that Barras you said about earlier. He's actually a really good card. I even used him in Weekend League a little bit as well. Really, really good
Yeah, he
card.
looks great.
So yeah, I think it's fun. The only one which we speak about in a bit is I can't even say a name, so I'm not going to attempt to. I'll let Ryan say her name. She's got the most hilarious body type I've ever seen. So, but as a promo as a whole, I can't fault it. It's the most cards that I've packed out of any promo so far this year. And there is some really good cards. Even the Shevchenko's a good card, to be honest, and he's cheap as anything as well. So yeah, it's a dub for me, and player picks it back, which I haven't done any yet, but I will do for Team 2. So yeah, it's a dub for me, 100%.
I actually like the idea of having icons on there as well. I know when they were first announced or leaked or whatever, there was a few people that, didn't like the idea. They couldn't grasp. They were like, icons are already made stars and whatnot. But I like the idea that it's, the young guns, the younger versions of the icons. Like, I haven't used Steven Gerrard, but has he got a shorter trim in game? His icon, yeah, like little things like that, I think are great.
Yeah.
And obviously Ronaldinho is always going to be amazing and stuff. But yeah, I do like their choices as well. Rooney, he defines what a future star was. So I think it's been a great addition having icons for future stars. Just thought I'd put that one out there.
I was going to say, I haven't seen, but I'm presuming Team 2, Michael Owen's surely in Team 2. Not that I'd use him anyway because he's a scumbag rat. But
yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
I'd imagine he's got a bit. More importantly, Copenhagen are level with City at 1-1.
Yes.
More
importantly, Leeds are winning 3-0.
No one cares. No one
3-0 half time.
I'm going to bleep that out.
Remember the Champions League, guys.
I'm literally going to bleep that out. Every word.
I do remember the Champions League back in 2002.
This is my last player pick.
I remember Leeds in the Champions League.
Got to the semi-final. And lost to Valencia. Who had that?
When?
Like 2001, 2002?
No, I was on about when did anyone ask?
Good one. Right then, boys. I know it's supposed to be a positive episode, but as in every relationship, you've got to go through a few stumbling blocks to make sure it's perfect in the end. So we're going to have to do a bit of a shit sandwich. We've started positive. Now we're going to go negative. And they've made some real fucking mistakes so far this week. We've had the wrong league on Guendouzi, the wrong chemistry on all the Future Stars cards. We've had Timo Werner-gate again with the incorrect nation on a card. And they also haven't replenished the hero pick that you and Shane, in fact, and Mouse have both done. Thoughts?
I mean, they compensated me at the time with my hero pick because I got Yaya Toure.
And Messi.
Centurions. And I've got a Messi. So I've had quite a bit of thing. But it's just stuff that does make you wonder how it slips through the net. Like, how does this slip through the net? How can you release it? And why is it not fixed within minutes? Like this, my whole thought process is, right, it's when they release this content in fucking Vancouver, it's 1 p.m. I think, isn't it? The release time, I think, over there, I think works out at. You're telling me that there's not someone in that office at 1 p.m, probably on their lunch break, that has seen this go out and gone, oh, that's a fucking problem, isn't it? Just pull it within 15 seconds. Whoever posts it, have someone sitting next to them with the game open. As soon as it lands, what does it look like on the computer? It's not that hard to gatekeep. It's really not that hard to gatekeep. I can't imagine if you're pushing something out that you can't pull it back immediately. they fuck up so many times with releasing the wrong product, the wrong content. They should have built into the code a failsafe that goes, right, kill it immediately, kill it within seconds. Yeah, you've got to probably, to knock up an SBC of any description, you've probably got a minute, before the fastest people can get on there and get it done. Maybe 30 seconds, but 30 seconds is enough time to spot these errors. Or, like with the Moroccan, the French kiddie that's Moroccan, he's just played in a tournament. He's literally just, the tournament's just finished, that he played the games in for Morocco. It's not like he played 10, 15 years ago. It's like almost 10 to 15 hours ago that he played for that nation. And you still pushed the card out with the wrong nation. Now, I quite happily go and work for EA if they want me to go and work for them, and I'll just gatekeep for them, and I'll sit there. I did write them an open letter ages ago, and I'll just sit there and just go, right, what's the content? Should you push the button? Yes or no? It's a simple thing. I've seen today there's a couple of people have been outed, isn't there? There's a couple of accounts that have been outed that work for EA.
Really?
I think, it was. Is it for SBC?
Foot Economist.
Foot Economist has been known that he works for EA for a while.
And there's one obviously, and there was I was about the account that leaked, and there was two of them that they've said, but obviously these people aren't using those accounts anymore conveniently, which I wouldn't. If I worked for EA, I wouldn't use Twitter, to be honest. I just wouldn't, because the amount of abuse you'd get. But these people are hiding out there somewhere. That surely there's someone that works for EA that people can speak to. Also, there's got to be something. Like I just can't. I can't get my head around it because there's too many errors.
I'm convinced that they're using some sort of fucking robot or
it's an experiment
machine or something like that, and it just isn't working properly. Because it's just, if people made the mistakes that these do consistently, they'd be out of a job.
Yeah.
If I did that in my job, I'd be gone. Yeah.
Mate, I spent the whole day today troubleshooting issues, and as soon as we seen these issues, as soon as we got these alerts, we had all the big dogs on the call. Boom, boom, boom. How do we get back to a path to restore? Straight away, on it. And it's almost like they do it, they go for lunch, and they're like, oh, look, that's actually fun. They come back from their lunch, and some dickhead's like, guess what happened? Some little intern. He's like, I don't have the access to do it, but everything was wrong. And they're like, it's all right. Well, we got a 24-hour SLA on that. It's fine. We'll finish our lunch. We'll have our jack of potatoes. We'll go home. We'll fucking wank ourselves silly because we're little pathetic gimps, and then we'll look at it tomorrow and see how it is then. We'll take as much time as we possibly can. We'll stretch the SLA. That's literally how it feels. It feels like they do not care whatsoever. Like, we messed up, did we? Fair. I refuse to believe they don't have like rollback paths and test environments, like to release all this in a test environment that isn't even live and then push it to live. It's like, come on, man, how much money do you make? It's ridiculous. They can have me if they want. I'll go there. I'll sharpen it up.
Same.
So what do you think about it, Ryan?
I think they're twats, to be quite honest. just fucking get shit right for once, please.
I can't grasp how much they do it. Like it don't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's mad.
It's just constant. Like it's like every other day or something like that, and I just can't grasp that they just keep doing it. And I can't.
When you look at it from a word point of view as well, it makes less sense. It's like, what measurable goals do these people have? Like in their end of year reviews, what did you do this year, Jeff? I released like 17 failed SBCs. I did this, but this worked. It's like, great, mate. You get a 5 out of 5. You get a pay rise end of the year, and we'll keep you on. It's like, how does this work in their company? It doesn't make any sense to me. I would love to go one day work experience. Just spend a week in their headquarters.
I read as well. I just mentioned it, but I read that since that hero pack mistake that we've still not had, they've made around. It's been 16 days and they've made around $200 million.
That's insane.
And it's just like, what is going on?
It's generally insane.
Just got nothing to say to that.
You can't. That's just mental. It's absolutely mental. Like, if it was stuff that you could excuse and go, oh yeah, all right, fair enough. You can see how you've made that mistake. It's not like that. It's generally not like that. To advertise something as an 87 and someone sat there and loaded 86 rated players into that pool of players. Like the fucking proof's in the description. Like, so there's only this. You could say a scenario that someone went, oh, by the way, this is an 86, and they changed their mind last minute and said it's an 87 rated. But no, they're EA. That's something that a small business would potentially do on the fly and stuff like that. Not a multi-billion-pound empire there's just no. How do you? I'd love to have an EA employee come and explain to me how that happens. That's the issue. What we don't get is, yeah, all right, you can apologise whatever you want. And you can say, oh, we fucked up. But explain how that has happened. Because if it's a monstrously complicated operation, sort your fucking operation out for a start. But, I'd rather know. It's the same as, with us. If someone... I'm trying to think the best way of putting this. If there's something going wrong, you'd rather know what was going wrong so you understand it. There's nothing worse than being left in the dark and not having a clue what's going on, because your mind wanders, and then we come up with these thoughts of what might have happened and stuff. But it'd just be nice to know not why it's what the issue is why has it happened and how has it happened. Would make so much more sense if we knew how it happened.
Yeah, if they gave us the step-by-step process of how they push the content.
Yeah, so we actually understand.
Then somebody in the community would be able to be like, this is what you're doing wrong, you bunch of morons.
Two kids, I know they're a bit of a hot topic at the moment, but 2K do that quite well. You kind of load up the game and they've got like a tab that's kind of like a live TV tab that keeps playing these videos over and over. And it's like, come with me to the headquarters where we're going to meet creative designer Joe Blogs, and then he'll basically give you like an overview of what he does and all that crap. And it's sometimes you find yourself sat there watching it because it's quite insightful, and I would love that in FIFA, to be fair, but they would just find a way of ruining it, wouldn't they? They'd be like,
I personally don't play a lot of other games. I play FIFA and I dab into the odd game here and there of something else, but
yeah,
surely this doesn't go on in other games like this. Surely.
Well, the only other game that I'm playing a little bit at the moment is Fortnite, and if they do something wrong in Fortnite, they will plug it literally within half an hour.
Yeah. So the prime example is when they're the new season, the last new season, they changed the movement type, and basically the community just went, "Nah, we hate this. It's absolute shit." And just like if you pay attention to Fortnite, the Fortnite update one, right? You'll put an issue on there, and there's a reply to them straight away saying, right, what's your PSN or whatever it is, to try and deal with the problem immediately. And that's in the public space. That's not on IM or anything like that. That's literally on their page. So they listen to all this. They obviously monitor anything like that, and they a few days later went, right, we're going back to the old movement system because no one likes this. So we're going to go back to the old one, work on it, and then we'll bring it back when we're happy with it. Fixed it within a week.
The thing is as well, it probably all stems down to, like a lot of bad companies do, you see people that hate to work for Amazon because they've got these strict guidelines that they don't want to follow. It probably does all stem down from one guy at the top that just has a really shit working culture outlook on how things should be done, and that just, shit falls downwards. It's his way or the highway. And there's probably people out there that really do want to make a difference, and they're probably really passionate releasing a certain SBC or releasing a certain puzzle SBC or whatever. But they're so limited and they're so ball and chained that it's just become acceptable. I mean, how long ago was KSI in his prime on FIFA? And what was he mocking at that point? He was like dressing up as an EA executive, the owner of EA. Oh, we're just greedy. We'll make mistakes. We don't care. All we care about is money. And it's still relevant to this day, like 10 years on. It's never going to change. And I think it is a culture thing at that company. They've always been voted like the worst sort of company for games, and they are like the Mr. Scrooges and stuff. And I think it's so embedded in their culture. They have a winning formula and it works. So why do they care about anything else? So what we need is Mr. Whoever, who's 89 years old, still trying to get him to do the old thing. So just pop off and give it to Alonso. And he'll take us forward.
Give it Alonso to the end of the season.
Yeah, it's so ingrained in there that people will be having the same conversations in 10 years' time, 20 years' time, because they'll still be going. It'll never stop, and it'll never change. And that is the worst thing. That's the most frustrating thing about it as well.
Until they have a viable opposition, it won't change because they don't need to. They don't need to change it because
2K is not going to be that viable opposition. I'm sorry.
2K is not that viable.
I think our community is
by
so
the way.
toxic as well. No.
There's no way that 2K is going to be a viable option. It's just going to be full of in-game purchases. It's going to be the exact same.
I think the hardest thing for anyone to compete is the FIFA community in itself, because whoever does try and compete is not going to nail it straight away. It's going to take years of just constant improvement. And exactly how we want with FIFA, or 99% of the community wants with FIFA, they'll want instant results. They'll immediately start shaming it and abusing it and being toxic. And then they'll lose their love then to try and better EA. They'll think, oh, you know what, there's a reason only these guys are doing it, because they're the only ones that care enough to put up with all the bullshit that they get off of the average fan or average FC player.
I don't give him bullshit.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right, I know, lads, it's difficult to be positive sometimes, but we're going to flip it back. We're going to be positive. We're going to smile. We're going to have a nice conversation, and we're going to talk and manifest some fun and positive stuff. So we're going to talk about the things that we actually like about EA Sports FC 24. First one from me, I'm going to go with player picks. Player picks are sick. That is all. Mouse, give me one. Go. Quick fire.
Sorloth. My reason for playing this game.
Shane, go.
League SBCs.
I would have bet my mortgage on that. Azza, go.
Positives about this game?
Yeah, don't say turning it off.
Mate, I could find more positives about my dad, and I've never met him. Do you know what? Right now, positive for me, the Brazilian Portuguese language is amazing. They call Fernando Torres El Nino. When he scores, they're like, El Nino. They call R9 El Fenomeno. So yeah, them lot, man. Pay them more than you're paying them already, please, because they are improving the game for me.
Love that. I need to do that. I massively need to pop that on because I have all my commentary
the best
turned
thing
off.
to do.
All right, second positive from me is pro clubs.
You said
brilliant.
this on the last Shit Sandwich episode.
Don't care. Pro clubs is lit.
Shocking.
My next one is actually variation of player bases. The fact that you're not limited to having a defence of Mendy, Kimpembe, Varane and Walker. The fact that there's such a big pool of players you can pull from and use, it makes the game so much better that you're not limited to physically having to use the same fucking players in every game.
Apart from the fact I still come up against Van Dijk every fucking time.
Yeah, because everyone's a sheep.
I'm one of those.
That's because everyone's a sheep. And I was going to say, two of you are the sheep that do that. But yeah, you can go out and use other players and still be competitive. There's no meta defense like we used to have, say, 3 years ago when
Meter.
just gonna say.
For meter long.
When I actually did it, because I did it last year, and I said everyone show your teams, and it was like Christmas time, and everyone put their teams out, and it was hilarious that every single person in the world had Mendy and Kimpembe in their team. It was just genius. And it was like 95% of the pictures I saw had those two in it. So it's just nice that you've got so many players that you can use.
Nice. I can't remember who it is. Go.
Do you know what? I actually really like that I've got packs customized to me in the store, the For You page. So yeah, I think that's great.
Oh my God, have you? I didn't realise.
Yeah.
I need to go and check the store now. Mate, I've got 10 and 30 coin packs. It's sick. Shane?
That's yeah.
One thing I really enjoy about the game is when you play a Rivals game, and you spend like 15 minutes playing, and then it ends in a draw,
You've only had 11 in this entire game cycle, I'd like to point out.
and then you just
12.
do nothing because it doesn't mean anything, and you've wasted 15 minutes of your life. No, I'm joking. I'm going to say
yeah.
I do like the amount of fodder packs they are giving this year. I think that's a lot more helpful in terms of like through the season and stuff. I think it's a lot easier to get fodder this year.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
I like squad battles being 3 minutes long.
That's
3
the
minute
same
halves.
one you did last time as well, Brev.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. It's difficult to find more of them, isn't it?
Speaking of things we mentioned on earlier on episodes, I mentioned on either my second or third pod that I missed red picks, and I think it would be a great idea to give us the chance to make one of our favorite players red. And I just realized that came true. So you're welcome.
That's good.
So what you're actually saying is you're being outed as someone that works for EA Sports.
That's
So
why
it's
you
you
got
and
R9,
Shane now. Mouse, we're in a minority.
Yeah, my last and favourite thing about EAFC FC 24 is the Lengthy Lads podcast.
Yeah.
That is my favourite thing about
Yay.
EAFC 24.
I'm welling up.
Gets me hard in the mornings.
Nobody else is getting another one after that. We're sticking with it. That's the end. The Lengthy Lads podcast. Tell your friends and family. Drop us a 5-star rating. Watch us on YouTube.
Right then, lads, we are at the part of the podcast where we go over the real-life football predictions. An exciting week, probably the most exciting one we have had for a long, long time. Just going to go over a quick overview of where we were at. Ryan was top of the league with 40 points. I was second in the league with 37 points. Mouse was third with 34. And Shane was dead last with 31 points. Now, we've had a bit of movement in the table, and it's positive movement. So I'm going to go over last week's results real quick. There was 4 correct scores, in total. And no, it wasn't 4, it was 5. So myself, Ryan, and Shane all predicted 3-0 leads against Rotherham. And then myself and Shane also predicted 2-1 Spurs against Brighton. So it was quite a high-scoring week. Mouse deserves a round of applause because he's only gone and done a safety and ended on 0 points, which
what you
is
get for not backing the boys.
absolutely incredible. So for those of you watching at home, Shane is shushing the camera. His signature shush has come out. An absolute clanger from our resident Mouse. So moving on to this week, we are going to go with the lowest score first. Of course, it is Mouse with 0 points. Ryan came with a respectable 4 points. Of course, he got the Leeds versus Rotherham scoreline correct, and he did predict Arsenal to beat West Ham. I came in with a respectable 6 points, respectable 6 points. I managed to predict the correct score for Spurs v Brighton and also Leeds versus Rotherham. But then Shane had a whopping 8 points. He got the Spurs versus Brighton score correct. He got Arsenal to beat West Ham. He got Leeds versus Rotherham score correct. And he did get the bonus point because he predicted the 9th minute and the goal did come in the 10th minute in the Leeds versus Rotherham match. So what does that mean?
Score is that the biggest score we've ever had?
That is the biggest score we've ever had, I believe.
Tell you what.
I think, anyway, I don't want to go back and listen to them all again, see what scores we had, but I'm pretty sure it is the highest score we've ever had. And high scores means big movements in the league. So Mouse is now down to bottom with 34. And that's exactly 2 weeks after telling Shane 2 weeks could change everything when Shane was looking all down and gloom. So, he manifested that. Shane has moved up to 3rd place with 39. I'm still in 2nd place with 43, but I'm only 1 point behind Ryan, who is on 44 points now. And we'll move into the games that we have predicted for the upcoming game weeks. We have gone for Brentford at home against Liverpool, Spurs at home against Wolves, City at home against Chelsea, Luton at home against Manchester United, and Plymouth at home against Leeds for what feels like the 5th time in a row. because I feel like I've seen that fixture hundreds of times lately. So I'm gonna go Mouse, Ryan, myself, and Shane, because Shane had 2 back-to-back firsts, so now he gets 2 back-to-back lasts. So, Mouse, if I could get your score for Brentford against Liverpool, mate.
2-0 Liverpool.
Oh, I'm worried. I'm worried this weekend.
Yeah, I've got a backer.
And Spurs versus Wolves.
2-1 Spurs.
Ooh, repeat of last week. City versus Chelsea.
2-2.
2-2. Luton versus Manchester United. 2 very small clubs. 1-1. And then Plymouth versus Leeds.
Oh, well, it's 3-0 Plymouth.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
Yep.
And what minute do you think the first goal will come across in those games?
7.
7. Sue. Right, we'll move over to Ryan. A little bit of a nicer intro this week. If I could get your score for Brentford versus Liverpool.
2-1 Liverpool.
Ooh. Spurs versus Wolves.
3-3.
City versus Chelsea.
2-0 Man City.
And of course, the 2 smallest clubs in the league, Luton versus Manchester United.
3-1 Man United.
And then the mighty Plymouth against your beloved Leeds.
I'm going to go 2-0 Leeds this time.
And your magical number, please.
9th.
9. Ooh, 7th and 9th so far, which is interesting. So, I've gone for Liverpool to beat Brentford 3-2. Spurs and Wolverhampton to draw 2-2. City to beat Chelsea 4-0. And Manchester United to beat Luton 4-1. And Leeds to do the business 2-0 against Plymouth, with my magical number being the 8th minute. So we've got 7, 8, 9, which is interesting for you, Shane. So moving over to you, Shane. Brentford versus Liverpool.
I'm nervous.
I am as well.
I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Have we? I don't even know if Alisson's back, which scares me.
He is back. He is back.
He is. Oh, amazing.
Salah's in full training.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful news.
I just think we've been getting away with it at the minute. I mean, we won 3-1 at the weekend, but I thought we were poor first half.
Yeah. I think we've been getting away with it all season. Spurs versus Wolves.
Spurs 2-1.
City versus Chelsea.
City 3-1.
Luton versus Manchester United.
1-1.
And then Plymouth versus Leeds.
Leeds 3-2.
Ooh. And then the age-old question, which minute do you think the first goal will come in?
I'm going to go 10th.
10th. Oh, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is interesting. That is very interesting. This could be a special week. You know, Shane could end up on top again.
It rarely happens, mate.
It's Valentine's Day, mate.
Yeah.
Just do a Ryan. Give it a try, and if it doesn't work, load up FIFA.
Correct. Story of my life. Shane, do you want to do your thing?
Yeah, so basically, I'm just. This is going to be my last episode for a while. I need a break from this game. It's been a real struggle for me the past month or two, because it's not a full-time job. I have a full-time job, but it feels like a full-time job, trying to grind the hell out of this game and post stuff on Twitter and stuff like that. And it's just been a bit hard. I love everything about Twitter and the podcast and stuff like that, the people I've met on there and I chat to daily, but I just can't switch off from it. Like, I feel like if I'm on Twitter, I'm on the game, because I've got to do stuff to post stuff, and it's just, for me personally, I need a break from it. Like, I just want to step back a bit and because it is an addiction. I can't think of it any other way. Like, I can't not be on it. I find myself, if I've just got a minute spare, I'm on it doing something, or when I should be working or doing something, I'm on my phone doing a league SBC or stuff like that. So it's just for me personally. I need to do it. I need to have a break from it because I spend far too much time on it, and it's not a game that I can just jump on and have a few matches and come off it. Because for me, I don't really play the game for the gameplay. It's all about the menu grinding. It has been that way for me for a couple of years now. So I just people will say it's just a game, just don't play it. But it's not just about that for me because of the following I've built on Twitter and stuff like that. I've met some amazing people who I talk to, like I say, all the time. But I just, if I'm on Twitter, I won't not play the game. And it's just, I need to kind of switch off from it all just so I don't play it because I just feel like it's the right thing to do at the minute.
We respect that, mate.
Yeah.
Massively.
Yeah. I think we speak for most of the community as well, saying you have helped us and so many others, like, hugely in the time that I've known you. You've been a very inspirational. This is the second gaffer that has announced he's leaving in my life these last couple of weeks. So that's Jurgen Klopp and Mr. Shane Burt. But I think if anyone deserves a rest, it's you, mate.
Don't go. Don't leave.
I'll still be. I'll pop on and catch up. But yeah, I just know that if I'm always on Twitter and stuff, I'll just be on the game. That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is fair. When the fun stops, stop. As sad as it is to see you go for a little while, just make sure get in the right frame of mind and come back, and you're always welcome back with open arms.
And to all of our listeners, just to say, the door is not closed. The door is very, very much ajar for when Shane decides in maybe like 6 or 7 days' time that he's coming back to play the game and back onto the podcast. So we might have one without him, but he'll be back in a couple of weeks.
I personally hope he comes back with an afro.
Yeah,
I do as well. Yeah, I'll be excited for that.
Yeah, that one guy on Twitter called you an upside down head. So I think that should be the motivation you need to change your ways, Shane. To be fair,
yeah. That guy was a knobhead.
I will miss that. I will miss stuff like that.
Right, that's it. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Pancake Day. Happy Lengthy Lads Podcast Day to you lovely listeners. Thank you all for listening. Shane, we love you. Hopefully you'll be back soon in the Lengthy Lads chat room. To everyone listening, please show Shane some love in the YouTube comments and on Twitter. But for now, keep it lengthy.
It's fucking annoying!